So you're thinking about moving to the Nashville, Tennessee area, and you're really not sure where you want to live. Do you want to live in Nashville, like downtown? Do you want to live in a suburb? Well, we're going to take a look today at five suburbs that are, in my opinion, the top five suburbs in the Nashville and surrounding areas. And we're going to get started right now. So if this is your first time to the channel and you're wanting to know all things about Nashville and the market here in Nashville, feel free to click the subscribe button, click the bell for notification, and you'll get notified every time we upload a new video or give any information about the market here in Nashville. I'm Michael, and Joshua, Caleb, James David, and our team, we get calls from people like you every single day that are wanting to make their move to Nashville, and maybe they don't know a whole lot about it, so they're wanting to get more information. Well, just like you're welcome to reach out to us. Whether you're moving in 1 day, 1 month, or 1 year, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, and we'll help make your move easy to the Nashville area. So, like I said, moving to Nashville, and we're going to have a top five suburbs of the Nashville area. And what I really want to do is kind of give you maybe one pro and one con of these top five cities, and then hang around at the end, because even though I got top five cities, I actually have a few more that are more like honorable mentions, because they're the up and coming cities that are literally right behind my top five. So we're going to get started with number one on my list, which is Franklin, Tennessee. That's usually the place most people want to start looking, because Franklin is home of the Stars, home of like all kinds of people live there. It's a great, great community, excellent schools, definitely the happening place. The problem with it is housing prices are astronomical. Just not too long ago, maybe a month ago or so, we were in a housing situation that was so incredibly difficult in Franklin that there were no houses in inventory under $1 million. That's how expensive Franklin is. Super expensive. So one of the pros for Franklin is it does have more of a small town feel to it. And so there's a downtown area. They actually call it Main Street, USA. It is definitely a place where there's lots of boutiques and restaurants and stuff like that. That's an excellent pro. A con for Franklin is actually traffic. Traffic is still bad because everybody's moving there, and they've tried to do a pretty good job with the infrastructure and creating, 2-lane roads, like 4-lane roads, 2 lanes on each side. But they're still trying to get up to speed, and they haven't quite made it there. So since they haven't made it there, it makes traffic super difficult. Number two city on the list is actually Brentwood. Brentwood is just north of Franklin, just south of Nashville. And Brentwood is an excellent place to live, but you better have the money, because Brentwood land and Brentwood housing is, I would say, somewhere starting at about $1 million and going to anywhere to 10 million. I mean, just amazing numbers as far as how expensive it is to live in Brentwood. Number one school district in the Tennessee market, anywhere in Tennessee, is the high school that is actually in Brentwood. It's where everybody wants to be. It's the place to be for sure. So one of the cons for Brentwood is definitely the housing and land prices. One of the pros is that it's really super close to Nashville. So if you're going to go downtown a lot, if you're going to go to sports games and spend a lot of time downtown, or maybe even you work downtown in downtown Nashville, then Brentwood might be the place for you to take a look. Number three on the list is Murfreesboro. Murfreesboro is southeast of Nashville. So it's about 25 minutes to downtown, to the Broadway, where the restaurants and bars and stuff like that are. But it's still a super quick drive if you're wanting to live close to Nashville, but not too close. Murfreesboro has a lower cost of living as far as their housing prices. They haven't quite reached these ridiculous numbers like Franklin and Brentwood. So that might be an excellent choice for you. It's definitely cost of living is the pro. on that one. And the con on that one is it's definitely a hike to get there. So if you're more interested in maybe not living in the downtown area or close to the downtown area, about 30 minutes out, 25, 30 minutes out, you can be in Murfreesboro. Number 4 on the list. Number 4 is actually a conglomeration of a couple of neighborhoods that are in downtown Nashville. 12 South and the Gulch and Forest Hills. These are the prime spots that people want to move to in Nashville because they have already been through a revitalization project. There's a ton of things to do. The pro there is definitely it's walking distance to just about everything from restaurants to grocery store to just a coffee shop down the street. It's a great neighborhoody kind of feel to it because kind of the place that all the I, I'm a little bit older, all the youngins want to kind of move to because it's hip and new and cool. The downside to that is going back to the same as Franklin and Brentwood, which is you're going to pay a pretty penny to live downtown in one of these places. They are super, super expensive to live in, even condos or anything in these areas. So, number 5 on our top 5 list of suburbs in the Nashville area to live in is Hendersonville. Hendersonville is behind on one thing, and that's kind of the con. And then the pro is definitely cost of living is lower. Actually, gas. I got gas in Hendersonville. The last time I went to Hendersonville, it was 40 cents cheaper in Hendersonville than it is where I live near Franklin. So that was amazing to me that there was such a difference in gas prices. But Hendersonville is a great lake area that's right on the lake. Definitely a booming area. People are starting to move there. The downside to it is they are way behind. I mean, infrastructure's not there. Road systems aren't there yet. Like they do have roads, but they're like 2-lane roads most of the time. Just really hasn't been the boom of growth that you've seen in these other areas I was talking about, Franklin, Brentwood, that kind of Murfreesboro, things like that. The traffic ends up being a little bit worse there because they haven't gotten up to speed. Excellent place if you want to look at possibly investing there, buying a house there and investing in a house. And then over time, you're going to see huge dividends paid out. Your equity is going to continue to go up as you stay in that Hendersonville area, and then everybody starts moving in that direction. So there's my top 5. I want to give some honorable mentions. You got the pros and the cons from the top 5. I'm just going to give you some honorable mentions that we're not going to do the pros and cons on it. Just really want you to know there's other places that you could look that are up and coming, or maybe they're already there, but they were just slightly behind one or whatever. So one of them is Spring Hill, which is south of Franklin. Spring Hill is an up and coming area, really where Franklin was maybe about 5 to 7 years ago, and it's up and coming as well. So you want to check the Spring Hill area. Another one is Mount Juliet. Mount Juliet is actually northeast. It's just below Hendersonville on the other side of the lake, actually. And Mount Juliet has been over the past probably 2 to 3 years an up and coming area city that really has decent prices. They're starting to build some really nice homes and neighborhoods there that are actually getting up in price, 750, 800, that kind of thing, but still a great area. Has a mall area there, lots of shopping, restaurants, things to do. And then another one is Nolensville. Nolensville is probably on this honorable mention list and the top 5 list, the worst possible traffic situation you could be in. 2 lanes, one way in, one way out. But they're building, they're adding on, they're widening roads, lots of construction. They're getting ready to start building a gigantic 372-acre compound, if you want to call it that, of neighborhoods where it's Southland Homes, the same people that built West Haven over in Franklin, and they're building these neighborhoods, and another one over here in Nolensville. It'll have its own elementary school, its own grocery store, golf course, country club kind of feel to it. Going to be over the next 5 to 10 years, definitely a place to move to. First, we need to get the roads up to speed in Nolensville, though. So that's an honorable mention. And then last but not least on the honorable mention list is a place called Clarksville. Clarksville is about 45 minutes from Nashville northwest, and it's just south of Fort Campbell, which is in Kentucky, which is a huge Army base. And this is definitely a growing area. If you're interested, this is the secret of all secrets. If you're interested in investing in a property that's going to gain gigantic value over the next 5 to 10 years, Clarksville's the place to be. You can buy the house now and it's still a reasonable price, maybe 300, 350. It's going to double over the next 5 to 10 years because as urban sprawl sets in and people get further and further away from the downtown Nashville area, they're going to be looking at places like Clarksville, where there's easy access to the highway, easy access to Nashville, but not too far away that it takes hours to get there. So that's a wrap on my top five suburbs of the Nashville area. If you have any questions, want to know anything, feel free to reach out to our team. Information is down in the description below. Let me know down in the comments too what your favorite area is around Nashville. And feel free to reach out. We'll see you next video.